Once someone starts chasing after you, they lose their value. So when I found out that the prettiest girl in school, who had rejected me 99 times, had actually fallen in love with me at first sight. But she wanted to enjoy the process of being pursued by the boy she liked, and that's why she kept rejecting me over and over again. I decided to ignore her and asked my advisor for a guaranteed spot to study abroad. Before leaving, I decided to cut all ties with her completely. But when I arrived, the birthday party had already started. I heard familiar voices coming from the private room. Why is Lu Chengzhuo late? Is he preparing a surprise? He's already confessed 99 times, almost 100. Lin Yanggu, you should accept him already. Yeah, it's obvious you like him too. If you reject him again, the guy you like might really slip away. Listening to the girls teasing, Lin Yanggu seemed very confident. Lu Chengzhuo loves me so much, he won't leave. Next time he proposes something, I'll accept. Hearing that confident tone struck me as deeply ironic. Next time, there won't be a next time. During the 2 years I spent chasing after Lin Yanggu, I gave up all my dignity, ignoring the ridicule of countless classmates. Every day I tried everything I could to please her, but my sincerity was never reciprocated. I also thought about giving up. I also cried in secret on many nights, but the next day I would cheer myself up and go after her again. I even nearly gave up the highly coveted exchange student position just to stay by her side. Until one day by accident, I saw Lin Yanggu's phone. I discovered that she had fallen in love with me at first sight. She called me "dear husband" and had thousands of photos of me in her album. But when I found out that she loved me too, I didn't feel even a bit of happiness. On the contrary, I felt enormous irony and anger. I'm exhausted. I give up. Now I just want to leave, to disappear completely from Lin Yanggu's world. The moment I opened the door, the conversation in the private room stopped abruptly. They all subtly turned around and started talking about other things, as if they hadn't seen me. Lin Yanggu also had a glass of wine and joined the game. She seemed cold and indifferent, not even lifting her eyelids. I glanced at her out of the corner of my eye. I couldn't help but admire that she was a very good actor. Faced with everyone's indifference in the room, I didn't feel any disappointment. I walked over to the empty seat in the corner and sat down. For more than an hour, everyone chatted and greeted each other. I just sat there, looking at my phone, like an invisible person. In the past, whenever Lin Yanggu showed up, I would definitely look for a way to get close to her and find different topics to catch her attention. Even this birthday party happened because I begged for a long time and asked many people to convince her to invite me. In theory, something that is hard to obtain should be valued more. But seeing my calm expression and her relaxed attitude, as if she didn't take her own birthday seriously, was different from her usual cold demeanor. That finally made Lin Yanggu unable to hold back. She couldn't help but glance at me several times. After singing happy birthday and cutting the cake, it was time to give the presents. I waited until everyone had finished giving their gifts, then I slowly stood up, took a calendar out of my bag, and handed it to her. Everyone present looked at me in surprise, because that calendar was palm-sized, with only 30 pages in total, which seemed very meager. I didn't care about anyone's expression. I just looked at Lin Yanggu and calmly said, "Lin Yanggu, from today on, tear off one page each day. When you tear off the last page, there will be a surprise. It's the belated birthday gift I prepared for you." Upon hearing this, her roommates immediately burst out laughing. The 100th confession, right? You're really persistent. 2 years and you're still here. Do you like her that much? Influenced by those words, Lin Yanggu naturally thought it was a countdown calendar for the 100th confession. The corners of her lips curved slightly, but she quickly suppressed it and returned to her indifferent expression. I only said that if he confessed 100 times, I would consider it, but I never said I would definitely accept. She knew that everyone had misunderstood. When I tear off the last page, it won't be the day of my confession, but the day I completely disappear from his world. I didn't explain. I just smiled faintly. Lin Yanggu, I've been chasing after you for so long without moving you. I really want to know what your ideal type is. Everyone in the room fell silent after I finished speaking. Everyone gave him a meaningful look. Lin Yanggu stared at me, was silent for a few seconds, and then softly said, "My ideal type." Just as I was about to speak, the door, which had been tightly closed, suddenly swung open. This instantly drew everyone's attention. In front of everyone, Zhou Yanzu appeared holding a beautifully wrapped box. "Bian Yu, happy birthday." Lin Yanyu's gaze also followed those words and landed on Zhou Yanzu. He raised his fingertips and gently tapped the table. He continued the words that had been interrupted. "My ideal type is, of course, someone cheerful and clean-looking, like a neighbor." Upon hearing such ambiguous words right after entering, Zhou Yanzu's face lit up with joy. He quickly walked over to her and handed her the gift he had carefully prepared, encouraging her to open it right then. Everyone's attention quickly shifted. No one spoke about that topic anymore. Seeing the two of them surrounded by the group, I didn't show any sadness. On the contrary, I calmly went back to my seat and sat down. All night long, no matter where Lin Yangyu went, Zhou Yanzu was always by her side. They talked and laughed, shielded each other from drinks, and shared the same piece of cake. I silently observed their intimate appearance. Many memories passed through my mind. Although Lin Yangyu was the prettiest girl at the university and had many admirers, she was always on guard around boys. But the only exception was Zhou Yanzu, with whom she grew up. He would fix her messy bangs, walk her to class, and carry her bag. These attentions in my eyes were like thorns stuck in my heart. But it wasn't until the day I learned the truth that I understood Lin Yangyu and Zhou Yanzu weren't that close before. Zhou Yanzu was always chasing after her, but she never paid him any attention. Until I appeared. Then he started deliberately acting close to Lin Yangyu in front of me, just to make me jealous and push me to pursue her even more intensely. So when I saw Lin Yangyu in front of me, all I felt was irony. I set my glass down on the table, stood up, and went to the bathroom. I splashed water on my face. I felt a little clearer. I took a tissue out of my bag to dry myself. My vision was blocked. I didn't realize that someone had suddenly appeared next to me. It wasn't until I heard Zhou Yanzu's sarcastic voice that I realized something was wrong. Luchen Zhou, you've been chasing after Sister Yanyu for years and she still hasn't accepted you. How dare you even follow her to her birthday party? I'm begging you. She doesn't like you at all. Can you have a little self-awareness? You're a pathetic person who throws himself at her feet. I didn't show any displeasure at his words. I just looked at him calmly. Are you done insulting me? Zhou Yanzu didn't expect me to react like that. He was a little confused. Of course you don't know what people say about you at school, the one who confessed 99 times. You're still a student after all, you have no shame. Even a blind person can see that Sister Yang likes me. Why can't you open your eyes and see it? Seeing his shameless attitude, I still didn't show any emotion. I just looked away from him, looking behind him. Before you insult me, you'd better look behind you first. Zhou Yanzu followed my gaze and turned around with a confused look, and saw Lin Yangyu at the door. She seemed to have been standing there for a long time and had probably witnessed the whole scene. Thinking about this, Zhou Yanzu's heart instantly started racing, and he quickly put on a pitiful expression, with no trace of arrogance. He quickly walked over to her, took her hand, and hurried to explain. Hermana Yanyu, it's not what it looks like. It was Luchen Zhou who bullied me first. But Lin Yangyu seemed completely unconcerned. She had clearly witnessed Zhou Yanzu insulting me, but pretended not to have seen it. She looked at me, then took off her coat and put it on Zhou Yanzu. It's windy outside. You're not wearing enough clothes. Be careful not to catch a cold. After saying that, she took his hand, turned around, and went back to the private room. Zhou Yanzu hadn't expected that reaction and seemed completely unconcerned about having insulted me. Suddenly, he felt very confident. He turned around with a proud look, wearing a mocking expression, laughing at my audacity. I paid no attention to Zhou Yanzu's provocation. With my head down, I balled up the wet handkerchief and threw it in the trash can. I turned around and went down the stairs. The hallway was quiet, only my footsteps could be heard. In the darkness, what had just happened replayed in my mind. I scoffed. When she put the clothes on Zhou Yanzu, her eyes looked at me brazenly, yet she spoke words of concern for him. To be honest, her talent for acting is really good. If I didn't know her true thoughts, I might have been fooled. It was pouring rain outside, and almost all the taxis had stopped running. The group was stuck at the entrance of the bar. Lin Yangyu called her family's driver, saying she would take Zhou Yanzu home. It was so late that everyone else had already left. Only Luchen Zhou was left, waiting for a taxi. That's not right. Lin Yangyu took the driver's umbrella. He has legs. Let him walk. Without looking at my expression, she helped Zhou Yanzu into the car. Watching the sports car gradually disappear into the rain, I didn't care. I continued trying to hail a car through the app. I waited in the cold wind for more than 2 hours. The rain stopped intermittently, and finally a driver accepted the request. When I got home, it was already 2 in the morning. I walked to my room door and entered the password. As soon as I opened it, the door across from me opened as well. Come back earlier next time. The noise from the door is too loud and it disturbs my rest. I looked at the clothes I still hadn't changed out of and understood. I laughed coldly. I just said UEM indifferently and went straight into my room. I turned on the light and closed the door. After taking off my shoes, there was a loud bang outside the door. I ignored it. I took off my clothes and put on my pajamas, turned on the air conditioner, and lay down on the sofa wrapped in a blanket. I bought this apartment from someone half a year ago. When I found out that Lin Yangyu had moved out of the dormitory, I bought it on purpose and moved in to be her neighbor. I brought her breakfast in the morning and wished her good night at night. I created all kinds of encounters every day just to impress her. But no matter how much I cared about her, she ignored me. But it wasn't until I discovered her secret that I realized she had been pretending not to care. Just like tonight, she had already come home without even changing her clothes. She was worried about my safety and couldn't sleep. But when she saw me, she deliberately said something irrelevant. I'm tired of her hypocritical attitude. I'm tired of it. And I don't want to keep playing games with her. I opened my phone and the real estate app and posted the listing for the apartment. Since I've decided to leave, I'll cut all ties. The next morning, the agent came to inspect the apartment. I opened the door, let them in, and provided the basic information about the apartment. After that, I was going to see him out. The door across from me opened. Lin Yangyu was holding the car keys and about to leave when she saw an unfamiliar woman appear by my side. Her eyebrows furrowed unconsciously. Who is she? My sister-in-law came to drop something off. I lied without batting an eye. The agent looked at me in surprise, but he was a professional and didn't give away the lie. He left with an excuse. I went back to my room to change and planned to go to school. I turned around and someone was standing in front of the elevator, blocking my way. I looked up and saw that it was Lin Yang. He looked a little surprised. He didn't want to leave. Why hadn't he left? Lin Yang noticed the doubt in my eyes and said something awkwardly. Today I'll take you to school together. I didn't know why he was acting so differently, so I shook my head and refused. But he insisted on taking me, insisted on accompanying me, and came up with all sorts of excuses, from being late to it being on his way. Seeing that he was about to use the excuse of saving energy, I couldn't resist anymore and didn't want to waste more time, so I agreed. We didn't say a word the entire way. The car was completely silent. She was used to me chattering in her ear. Seeing me so quiet, Lin Yangyu felt uncomfortable. She was a little surprised. It seemed it wasn't just her imagination. I really had changed these days. And those changes filled her with an inexplicable unease. When we arrived at school, I unbuckled my seatbelt and left first with a thank you. I walked quickly toward the school entrance and noticed that everyone passing by looked at me with a very strange expression. Is that Lu Chenzhou? Yeah, the one who's trending. How embarrassing. Hearing those incomprehensible words, I quickly opened my phone and at a glance saw several links sent by my friends. When I clicked on them, I discovered that someone had posted about my pursuit of Lin Yangyu on the complaint list and it had gone viral. Looking at the post about the 5th class parasite, I was stunned. The most popular post at the top was the one detailing everything about my pursuit. It was written in detail, even the contents of the love letters were published. From afar, I could also see the school's bulletin board, surrounded by a huge crowd, with my love letters posted everywhere. And the crowd was laughing and making comments. Oh, what's wrong with your eyes? So cheesy. 99 love letters, each written in a different way. This kind of obsession is scary. Isn't he the #1 student at Tsinghua? Why is he so desperate? Hearing those merciless taunts, my heart sank. I rushed straight into the crowd and started tearing them down one by one. In the end, I heard So Jansu's sarcastic voice again. Sister Yanyu, Lu Chen, So has confessed to you so many times. How much affection do you have for him? Lin Yanyu's voice was as cold as ever. He just said a number. 0. The protagonists have arrived. I liked the scene, but I was publicly humiliated. Lu Chen, So, I love you, together, together. Cheers came from the crowd. So annoying. Several people were cheering. Lu Chenzhou, confess your feelings. Her friend Su Bangwan said. Lu Chenzhou is good to you. He confesses to you every day. This is the 9th time. Yes. Good student, good family. When will your next confession be? We'll all come to watch and give you advice. I tightly clenched the torn pieces of the love letter in my hand. My index finger lost its color from gripping too hard. Some words reached my lips. I was about to speak, but seeing the looks of pity from all directions, I held back. I held the love letter high in my hand, as if it were a battle flag, and declared loudly. All right. The 100th confession will be at the school's Central Plaza at 9 in the morning on December 3rd. All students are invited to bring their friends to watch. Without caring about the reaction of the people around me, I left the place with my head held high. I didn't go to class that morning. Instead, I went back home. I tore up the thick stack of love letters, burned them to ashes, and flushed them down the drain. Over the weekend, the club, which had been quiet for a long time, suddenly sent a message saying they would meet. I had just submitted my request to withdraw, so I went. But when I opened the door, I unexpectedly saw Lin Yang-yu, who never took part in these activities, also there. I pretended not to see her and sat alone in the corner. As soon as they saw me, Jo Yansu's friends immediately took on the role of the good guys. How could Yang Yu agree? Of course, it's because Yansu likes excitement. Everyone knows that our school's beauty only listens to Yansu. I ignored their little tricks. I grabbed some oranges and peeled them. When everyone arrived, the president announced the start of the game. I wasn't interested, but they dragged me into participating. I had to psych myself up to play that boring game of truth or dare. We played 7 or 8 rounds. Finally, Lin Yang-yu lost. Everyone shouted excitedly. The punishment was to kiss a member of the opposite sex for 3 minutes. Hurry up. Who will you choose? School beauty. I knew he wouldn't choose me, and I didn't care who he picked. I lowered my head and played with the dice in my hand. And things went just as I expected. Lin Yang-yu chose Jo Yansu but made a request to turn off all the lights in the room. The room was left completely dark. You could only hear the sound of breathing. 3 minutes later, the lights came back on. Lin Yang-yu sat down first. Jo Yansu was left standing alone, looking upset because Lin Yang-yu hadn't kissed him. I glanced at him lightly. I heard the president announce that a new round was starting. I threw the 3 dice I had in my hand. Unfortunately, all 3 landed on 1, the lowest score in the game. Without saying a word, I drew a card from the pile. It was the same punishment. Everyone in the room got excited. Their eyes darted between me, Lin Yang-yun, and Jo Yansu. I pretended not to notice. I casually spun the pointer on the game dial and aimed it at a girl sitting across from me. For a moment, everyone thought I was going to back out. Sorry, girl. The girl looked confused and was about to stand up when Lin Yang-yu suddenly got up and knocked over her stool. Just as everyone was confused, she interrupted coldly. After playing for so long, I'm a bit tired. It's time for a break. She spoke, and her roommates echoed her. The president had no choice but to announce the suspension of the punishment. During the break, several girls said they were hungry, and a few of their roommates dragged the boys downstairs, saying they were going to buy food. They were gone for 20 minutes. Seeing that they hadn't returned, the president didn't want to wait any longer and directly announced the continuation of the game. I put down my phone, looked around, and realized that my roommate had left. To be precise, except for Lin Yang-yu. All the other girls had left. I didn't even need to guess. It was a deliberate act by Lin Yang-yu. But I didn't want to do what she wanted. So I picked up the 500 milliliter glass in front of me and gestured it toward the whole audience. My chosen partner had left. According to the rules of the game, I choose to accept the punishment by drinking. With that, I raised my head and drank the wine in the glass without batting an eye. Lin Yang-yun hadn't expected that I would rather drink than choose her. Her face immediately darkened. She looked at me with a gloomy expression. Her face quickly turned red as she squeezed the dice in her hand with a squeak. With half the people gone, the game ended. And just like that, the party was over. I was drunk until everyone had left. I handed the application to the president and leaned against the wall as I went down the stairs. Just as I reached the stairs, in my confused state, I saw So Jansu not far away. I wanted to pretend I didn't see him and avoid him, but he grabbed my hand, his eyes filled with indignation. After they turned on the light, what did that look mean? I'll tell you. Even though Sister Yang Yun didn't kiss me, there was a reason. It shows her respect for me. I almost burst out laughing after hearing that. But I knew that no matter what I said, So Jansu wouldn't listen to me. So I nodded. Yes, everything you say is right. I was about to pull my hand away and leave. But Jo Yansu gripped even tighter and kept cursing, refusing to give in. We were arguing. My footing was already unsteady, and as I was pulled, I couldn't keep my balance and fell backward, tumbling down the stairs. Jo Yansu was startled, and he couldn't keep his balance either, so he also tumbled down the stairs. Hearing the commotion upstairs, several students who hadn't gone far turned back. When they saw that both of us were seriously injured, everyone panicked. Finally, Lin Yang-yu contacted someone and took us to his hospital. After the examination, the doctor said it was a bone fracture. Without timely treatment, there could be a risk of disability. From the moment he found out we were injured, his eyes never left me. Seeing my pale face and the sweat rolling down my forehead, he seemed to feel the same, and his heart was in pain. The operating room was ready, but the hospital only had one expert capable of performing the surgery. Lin Yang-yu had to decide the order. He instinctively looked at me and our eyes met. There was no longer the usual attachment and fervor. All that was left was a pool of stagnant water. That look made Lin Yang-yu's heart tremble violently. Miss, Please decide quickly who should be operated on first. I was lying on the stretcher with a pale face. Right before I lost consciousness, I heard Lin Yangyu firmly say that name. Zhou Yanzu. Save Zhou Yanzu first. Soon, the doctor pushed Zhou Yanzu into the operating room. The moment the door closed, I completely lost consciousness. When I woke up, a whole day had already passed. The first thing I did when I opened my eyes was reach out and touch my leg. When I felt that my legs were still there and that I could feel them, I let out a sigh of relief. Tears of survival welled up in my eyes. Luckily, I wasn't paralyzed. My parents received the news and arrived quickly, taking me to the VIP suite on the upper floor and taking good care of me. 2 hours later, Zhou Jiansu was admitted to the room across from mine. Lin Yangyu personally brought him. To make the examinations easier, the doors of both rooms were left open. I could clearly tell what was happening in that room. Zhou Jiansu kept complaining about the pain. Lin Yangyu found various topics to distract him. The food delivered by the logistics department didn't suit him, so she went home, cooked a lot, and brought him some light meals. He would get bored in the room, so she would find all sorts of new and interesting things to relieve his boredom. During the 10 days in the hospital, the two became so close that even the nurses gossiped, wondering if the dean was about to gain a son-in-law. I listened in silence without getting involved. But I knew in my heart that Lin Yangyu was doing all of this for me. After all, I had closed the door to the room hundreds of times. Every time I closed it, a nurse would come to check. It definitely wasn't a coincidence. On the day of discharge, I ran into them again in the underground garage. As soon as they saw me, Lin Yangyu immediately helped Zhou Yanzu out of the wheelchair and led him to the car. Lu Chenzhou, I heard you live right across from Yanyu's house. Let us give you a ride. I ignored them. Without even looking up, I got straight into the car. When the car arrived at the apartment building, I refused my parents' help and went home alone with my crutches. The elevator went from basement level 1 to the first floor. Originally, Lin Yangyu was going to take Zhou Yanzu home, but suddenly, he came in. We looked at each other without saying a word. The elevator stopped on the 17th floor. Lin Yangyu stood at the door for a long time without leaving. So I had to take a few more steps with my crutches and go out first. I walked slowly, but the person behind me walked even slower. I could feel his gaze on me the whole time. When I reached the door, I wanted to enter the password, but my cane suddenly fell to the floor. I had to lean against the wall and slowly bend down. Just as I was about to touch the cane, a shadow fell in front of me. Lin Yangyu also bent down. Maybe he was planning to help me pick up my things. But the moment his hand entered my line of sight, he pulled it back and tied his loose shoelaces. I scoffed. I picked up the cane, slowly stood up and entered the room. I rested at home for a long time. Final exams were approaching. Although I was about to go abroad and could barely walk because of my leg, I didn't apply for an extension and instead showed up for the exam. There were too many stairs in the auditorium and my leg injury hadn't healed, so I sat in the center of the first row. After a while, Lin Yangyu also helped Zhou Yanzu into the classroom. When he saw me, Zhou Yanzu immediately said that his leg hurt and he needed to sit in the front row. Lin Yangyu helped him to my side and then sat in the seat against the wall. The exam started soon after. So Jansu aimed at the teacher as she was walking down right when she stepped off the last stair and threw a paper ball which he had prepared beforehand onto my desk across the aisle. My hand holding the pen froze. Before I could understand what was happening, the teacher who turned around scolded me. Before the exam, I repeatedly emphasized that you can do poorly, but you cannot have bad character or cheat. Lu Chenzhou, your score is cancelled. It wasn't until then that I realized what Zhou Yansu was up to, but I didn't want to suffer this injustice. I immediately stood up and argued that I wanted to check the cameras. Unfortunately, at that very moment, the building had a power outage, so the classroom surveillance hadn't been activated in time. Seeing Zhou Yansu's expression change from surprise to joy, I really couldn't swallow this. Lin Yangyu was sitting next to Zhou Yansu. He had seen everything. The teacher didn't want to wrong anyone, so she called on Lin Yangyu. The university building invested in Lin Yangyu. Lin Yangyu doesn't need to please anyone. She is honest and upright. Her words have always carried weight among teachers and students. After hearing the whole story, Lin Yangyu looked at me and said calmly, "It wasn't Zhou Yanzu who cheated." With that, she basically declared me guilty. Lu Chenzhou, what else do you have to say? You deny the plagiarism and slander my classmate. You are stubborn. Your previous grades must have been copied too, right? In any case, this time I have to report it to the whole school for criticism. I stood there feeling as if I were falling into an ice cave. I thought that when it came to right and wrong, Lin Yang Yu would stay true to his principles, which is why I mentioned his name. But I didn't expect that, even after witnessing everything, he would testify in favor of Zhou Yansu. No amount of explanation would be useful now. I looked deeply at Lin Yang Yu and left without saying a word. Seeing my reddened eyes, Lin Yang Yu suddenly panicked. Instinctively he chased after me and stood in front of me. Lu Chenzhou, I know Yansu was wrong in this matter, but he's thin-skinned. I don't want people talking about him. He didn't even apologize. He only explained things for Zhou Yansu. I even started to doubt whether the photos I saw that day were just a dream. So that's the reason you're helping him slander me? He can't stand gossip, but I can handle it, is that it? Lin Yang Yu, do you think that because I confessed 99 times, my thick skin is like a wall? That I'm strong enough to ignore any gossip? Seeing my expression, Lin Yang Yu's left eyelid twitched and he immediately took my hand. I didn't mean it like that. It's just an exam. The credits can be made up. I'll find a way to make it up to you later. I'll make up for the grievance you suffered today. I don't like you. How do you plan to make it up to me? My sarcastic tone made Lin Yang Yu's heart tighten, almost revealing his true feelings. Who said I don't like you? As soon as he said it, he realized something was wrong and quickly stopped. Trust me. When you confess for the 100th time, I'll make it up to you. Lin Yang Yu almost said that he would definitely accept me. He wouldn't have shown so many flaws before. But now, my heart is already discouraged. I pulled my hand away from his. Then tear off the calendar pages and wait for the last day. Seeing that I pulled my hand away, Lin Yang Yu was also stunned. Her tone finally softened a little. All right, there are 3 days left. I will definitely give you a satisfactory answer. 3 days before I left, the apartment that had been on the market for half a month, the agent came to bring the contract. I signed it quickly. I'll move out in 3 days. I'll clean everything up at home these days. That way, the new tenant can move in. After the agent noted down the date, I accompanied him to the elevator. When I opened the door, Lin Yang Yu was coming out with 2 bags. She stared at Sister Song for a moment and politely said good morning. Sister Song replied flatly, all right. After the elevator went down, I turned around and was about to leave. Lin Yang Yu suddenly stopped me and handed me a bag. I passed by here and bought too much. I can't finish it all. Do you want some? I looked and saw that they were my favorite nuts. The shop is on the east side of the city. It takes more than 2 hours to go there and back, and you have to wait an hour to buy them. He deliberately bought my favorite snacks and handed them over with an excuse. I took it without saying anything and casually tossed the bag of nuts, tracing a parabola through the air, landing it precisely in the trash can. 2 days before I left, I went to a print shop and spent thousands of yuan printing 10,000 cards the size of 5 fingers. I went back to the dorm and asked my roommates to go up to the rooftop on the 3rd day and scatter these cards over the plaza. My roommates also knew what had happened recently. When they heard that I wasn't going to give up, they all tried to advise me. Chenzu, why won't you give up? Lin Yang Yu has treated you like this. Why do you have to keep looking for a way to be happy? Yes, he really went too far. It's so unfair to your love. Even though I had already let it go, hearing my friend's concern still sent a warm current through my heart. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Just help me distribute these cards. I've hired a cleaning company to take care of the rest. I'm not planning to confess. What I really want to do is say goodbye. When they heard this, several of the guys were stunned. They couldn't guess what I was up to. After thanking them again, I turned around and left. Watching as my silhouette gradually faded away, my roommates opened the cardboard box and took out a card. There was only one sentence written on it. Lu Chenso will never love Lin Yang again. The day before leaving, I went to the school to finish all the paperwork, then came home and started packing. I had only lived there for half a year, so I didn't have many things, but most of them were related to Lin Yang Yu. I found several boxes and threw all those things away. The scarf I had spent half a month knitting for Lin Yang Yu, I cut it up until it became just a ball of yarn. The ceramic bottle she donated at a charity sale, which I had worked so hard to get back, I smashed it to pieces. Every love letter I wrote to her in the early hours of the morning, I threw them all into the shredder. The moment I threw them into the trash bin, everything between Lin Yang Yu and me would be left in the past. In the end, there were only 2 sets of clothes left, the same ones I wore when we first met, a shirt and a pair of loose black jeans. I struck a match and burned everything. I stood up and saw Lin Yang Yu not far away. What are you doing? Getting rid of unnecessary trash. I said it lightly, turned around and went upstairs. When it was barely dawn, I was awakened by noise from the other side. Sleepily, I opened my eyes and grabbed my phone to check the time. I saw the messages flashing rapidly in the notification bar. It took me a while to realize that all the messages were coming from a group of more than 20 people. A year earlier, I had secretly infiltrated the group to learn about Lin Yangyu's preferences and then forgot to leave. Lin Yangyu didn't know I was there. And the ones who started chatting early in the morning were several of Lin Yang's roommates. And Yang Yu got up so early. Could she have been so excited that she didn't sleep all night? Of course. They've been at it since 11 o'clock last night. Are you really going to accept Lu Chenzou's confession this time? When I got to this point, my hand stopped. I rarely saw Lin Yangyu write such a long passage below. No. Lin Yangyu and I love each other. It's only natural. Don't ask pointless questions. Help me decide what outfit to wear today. This one or this one? Seeing the dozens of clothing photos she sent, the group instantly got excited. Oh my god. What a commotion. Is she still my cold and distant school beauty who doesn't like boys? Amid all the excitement, Lin Yangyu only replied with one sentence. I really like him. I must marry him in this life. Seeing these words, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Many past events flashed through my mind. Seeing the sentence about her liking him felt like the absurd and humorous ending of an O. Henry story. She liked him, so she rejected my 99 confessions and let me become the laughingstock of everyone. She liked him, so she ignored me and deliberately got close to other boys to provoke me. She liked him, so she twisted the truth, slandered me, and trampled on my sincerity. If this is her love, I really can't afford it, nor enjoy it. The frequency of messages in the group started to speed up. Several girls who lived on campus posted some photos of the scene. It was just past 7, and there were already a lot of people in the square. Everyone had come to see my 100th confession. And Anju, hurry up. Don't miss the confession. You, the heroine, you won't be able to make your way through the crowd. I was about to leave the group, but then I saw the message Lin Yangyu had just sent me. I'm ready to go. And you? I'm ready to go too. I'm leaving now. Suddenly, I wanted to see Lin Yangyu's expression as those cards were scattered across the square, and how she felt knowing I was leaving. But unfortunately, I can't see it. From now on, everything about Lin Yangyu has nothing to do with me. After slowly packing up, I turned around and looked at the empty room. Then I took out my phone and blocked all the numbers and accounts related to Lin Yangyu. Blocked. After doing all this, I felt more relaxed than ever. I dragged my suitcase, turned around to leave, and ran toward my bright, new life. It was 5 minutes to 9. The square was crowded with people. Even the security guards had arrived to maintain order. Looking at the lively scene below, my roommates were amazed, their voices filled with excitement. So many people. I guess whatever happens next will soon spread throughout the whole school. That would be for the best. Otherwise, when Chen Zhou leaves, some people will talk badly about him behind his back. Several people were talking. They said it was almost 8:59. Chen Su has arrived. Quick, get into position. Those handing things out, those taking photos, everyone needs to stay alert. Before Chen Su boards the plane, let's show him this grand scene. Just as they finished, the 9 o'clock alarm sounded. 2 boys, one on the left and one on the right, returned to their positions. They pushed the box of cards. In an instant, white cards flew from the rooftop of the 16th floor. Someone in the plaza, a nearsighted classmate, shouted, "It's snowing." Everyone looked up. When the card was about to land, the people below stood on tiptoe to catch it and see what was written. In the center of the plaza, Lin Yangyu was also looking up expectantly. Several sisters gazed at the grand scene and sighed in admiration. Why so many? There must be 10,000. Lu Chenzo really put a lot of thought into this. Hearing the envious voices of her sisters, Lin Yangyu was also filled with anticipation. She reached out to take a card and turned it over with a smile, but when she saw the words, her expression instantly froze. The sisters beside her leaned in to tease her, but when they saw the words on the paper, their eyes widened and they stammered as they spoke. This is impossible. It must be a mistake." Several people tried to comfort her while picking up the fallen cards and showing them to Lin Yanru, but the newly picked up ones were still the same. Lu Chenzhou will never love Lin Yanru again. Everyone went into a total panic. They quickly grabbed several from the audience. But after getting them, they saw the content, and their fear kept deepening. How can this be? Isn't this supposed to be a confession? What the hell is this? Could someone be causing trouble on purpose? Several people kept looking for excuses. The spectators already had their copies and shouted out loud. Oh, Lu Chenzhou will never want Lin Yangyu again. So this isn't a confession. Damn it. Did you go to all this trouble to bring us here just to clear this up? Is that it? You hyped it up so much, now the whole school knows about it. Amid the rising tide of complaints, Lin Yangyu's face gradually faded. She felt as if something was blocking her heart and her brain was deprived of oxygen, leaving only emptiness. Until her eyes filled with shock and fear. Thousands of people in the square were standing on tiptoe to see her reaction. And she didn't disappoint anyone's expectations. She threw her things down and strode toward the building. The spectators hurried to follow. After throwing out the last pile of papers, my roommates were ready to finish up. But when they reached the door, they came face to face with Lin Yangyu. She was running with several of her sisters. A few seconds later, a large crowd of spectators followed them. Upon seeing Lin Yangyu, my roommate immediately started mocking her. Oh, isn't this the beauty of our university? Didn't you say you didn't like Chenzhou? Why are you here joining in on this boring excitement? Hearing that sarcastic voice, Lin Yangyu suddenly clenched her fists, and her face instantly darkened. These things they distributed without permission. Upon hearing the words, without permission, the three guys brightened up and laughed. How would we dare? Chenzhou spent a lot of money to print it himself and brought it to school with great effort. We're just one-time porters. Upon hearing this, the students below began to whisper. Doesn't Lin Yangyu dislike Lu Chenzhou? What? Lu Chenzhou has already given up. Why is she still unwilling to let go? What do you know? In our world of novels, it's called the flower on the high mountain. After being brought down from the pedestal, you chase after her. In my opinion, if she regrets it now, she deserves to be humiliated like this. What did she do the previous 99 times? These presumptuous words fell into Lin Yanyu's heart like a sharp blade, piercing through the confidence she had long established. In the past 2 years, she thought she knew me well and could easily control my thoughts and actions. And things turned out just as she expected. The first 99 confessions all ended without a hitch. She thought everything would end on the 100th time, and that there would be a final conclusion between her and me. But at the moment when she thought victory was in her grasp, she was dealt a fatal blow in a way that announced it to the world. She couldn't pretend to be indifferent, but instead completely exposed her true nature. Where is Lu Chenzhou? The president lowered his face with a satisfied smile. He raised his hand and made a flapping wing motion. The confession was over. Of course, he flew away. Lin Yang instinctively thought he was lying. But when she heard the last 2 words, her heart stopped for a few seconds. Flew away? What does that mean? Suddenly, she had a bad feeling. She pushed aside the boys in front of her and ran toward the rooftop. The rooftop was empty, with no one in sight. But the hallways and elevators were full of people. She couldn't go down. Didn't Lu Chenzhou come to school today? Realizing this, she was terrified and unable to recover. All the security guards came out and finally evacuated the crowd from the building. Lin Yangyu was escorted downstairs by several sisters. At first glance, she saw 7 or 8 sanitation workers sweeping up paper on the ground. Dazed, she crouched down and picked up a piece of cardboard that had been trampled. When she saw the words on it, she felt something different. The previous anger and shock had turned into, "It's okay. And Anju. Lu Chenzhou did this, he must still be angry about being reported last time. Go and explain it to him. Tell him everything you've been keeping in your heart. He loves you so much, he will definitely forgive you. Yes, yes. He's been pursuing you for 2 years and has confessed 99 times. This time, he must be throwing a tantrum. You just need to spoil him a little." Although everyone was giving well-intentioned advice, Lin Yangyu's 6th sense told her that this time was different from before. She couldn't suppress the feeling of panic and didn't want to listen to their constant chatter. In a state of confusion, she drove straight back to the apartment. He wanted to ask me for an explanation. At 10:30, she parked the car and had just arrived at the entrance of the complex when she saw the sanitation workers cleaning the trash bins. Suddenly, she remembered seeing me the day before, crouched on the ground burning something. She thought something was wrong with me but didn't ask the reason. Now she wanted to see what I had been burning, but the doorman had already placed a new trash bin and taken the old one away. Lin Yangyu could only go upstairs with the paper card. When the elevator doors opened, several large suitcases were blocking the entrance. The boy next door saw that she couldn't get out and hurried to apologize and move the luggage. She assumed these belonged to the new neighbor who had just moved in. But when she reached her door, she discovered that the door across from hers was slightly open. She raised her hand and knocked. It was quiet inside. That abnormal silence made Lin Yangyu unconsciously frown. She was about to open it to take a look when suddenly a man's voice came from behind her. "Are you the neighbor across the hall?" "Hello. I'm from number 1705. I'm a new resident, please take care of me." Upon hearing that string of numbers, Lin Yangyu instinctively looked at the door number. The next second, she stood frozen like a statue. The guy just pushed his suitcase over and was introducing himself enthusiastically. Lin Yangyu didn't hear a single word. She turned around blankly, staring at the door number to her left. The door number was 1705. 1705, a new tenant. And the original tenant. The agent said he moved out this morning. Do you know him? Can you give me his contact information? He seemed to be in a hurry. The place was listed at a low price. I got it for a good price. I still want to thank him. A few words left Lin Yangyu's mind completely blank. After a long daze, she suddenly realized. She turned to the side and pushed open the slightly ajar door. The room was empty. Except for the usual furniture, there wasn't a single personal item. It was as clean as a brand new house. The boy didn't notice how her face gradually turned pale, and he kept smiling. It's clean. The agent said that the little brother spent 3 days cleaning it because it was inconvenient to move, and he also threw away a lot of things. Lin Yangyu didn't know how she got home. When she came to, she found herself slumped in the hallway. Her legs were so numb she couldn't feel them. She felt as if she had just been pulled out of the water. She took out her phone, found my WeChat, and typed a few words with trembling hands. Why did you move? Right after pressing the send button, a small red dot appeared on the screen. That red dot fell into her eyes, making her eyes freeze for a few seconds. Then she sent a few more messages. Several more notifications popped up. Staring at the phone screen, she felt as if something was choking her throat, making it almost impossible to breathe. Just when she was about to suffocate, the phone rang. She finally exhaled and answered the call, but on the other end came her roommate's terrified scream. Yanyu, there's a problem. Lu Chenzhou went to Italy. I saw his name on the exchange student list here on the bulletin board. This sentence was like a thunderclap stirring up a huge wave in Lin Yanyu's heart. She tried to stand up by supporting herself on the cabinet, but her numb legs wouldn't obey. She fell headfirst to the floor. Her forehead hit the corner of the wall, splitting it open in a bloody gash. Blood gushed out. The phone was blaring noisily beside her. What's wrong with you? We're coming over. Lin Yangyun didn't have time to process that sentence. She raised her hand to cover the wound. She felt as if ants were biting her brain. The nerve pain was unbearable. She curled up into a ball, and a low, painful sound escaped her throat. Everything went dark. Before completely losing consciousness, her last thought was of the words she had read countless times that day, words that had been etched into her heart. Lu Chenzhou will never love Lin Yangyu again. Lin Yangyu was seriously injured. Although she narrowly escaped death, she was admitted to the intensive care unit. When she woke up again, she realized that 3 days had passed. Several sisters leaned over her bed, sighing with relief, and then told her what had happened during the days she was unconscious. According to the information, Lu Chenzhou had arrived in Italy 3 days earlier, but had not completed the enrollment procedures. After the list was announced, someone went to the school to report him, saying that he had cheated on the recent exam and should be disqualified from the study abroad program. If his spot was cancelled, he would probably come back. Don't worry, Yangyu. Lu Chenzhou can't get away. Lin Yangyu's heart suddenly skipped a beat, and her eyes flew wide open. She hadn't recovered from the overwhelming amount of information when there was a knock at the door. One of her roommates went to open it. The other three turned around and saw the famous Professor Zhang enter with a stern expression. His imposing presence made people afraid to look at him directly. He glanced at the person in the hospital bed. You are Lin Yangyu. I heard you testified in the plagiarism case. I want to talk to you. Upon hearing this, her roommates didn't dare to stay and hurriedly left the room. Watching the door slowly close, Lin Yangyu slightly lifted her chin. That's me. Getting a positive answer, Professor Zhang's face instantly filled with anger. His voice was deliberately raised by several decibels. Chenzhou told me that you gave false testimony. Something this serious, you actually dared to falsify it. Do you know what impact this will have on his future? Once the paper is published, and considering the public opinion you stirred up online last time, you'll ruin him for life. You like him. But to be honest, in the past 2 years, has he ever done anything bad to you? Do you hate him that much? Do you really have to push him into the abyss? If you still have any conscience left, you should quickly tell the school the truth. Hearing these words, Lin Yangyu's head started buzzing and her heart suddenly became restless. She was just angry that he didn't choose her at the club party and wanted him to make up with her, so she lied to teacher Zhao. She never expected it would cause such a huge chain reaction. Without caring about the wound on her forehead, she tried her best to go to the school with teacher Zhang to explain. As soon as they went out, the medical staff stopped them. Several doctors didn't dare let her go and tried to persuade her, but she didn't listen to a word. She insisted on going back to school. Teacher Zhang had contacted the head of the disciplinary committee. In front of the dean of the School of Design and teacher Zhao, Lin Yangyu identified Zhou Yanzu as the plagiarist. Zhou Yanzu did not expect her to suddenly turn around and was instantly terrified, crying that it wasn't him. Teacher Zhao didn't expect her to retract her statement and didn't know whether to believe her or not. Lin Yangyu coldly unlocked her phone and took out a photo. This is a letter that Zhou Yanzu personally wrote to me. My family will send the original later. You can compare the handwriting on the letter and the note. Upon hearing this, Zhou Yanzu cried hysterically. I'm Jansu. Don't you remember we grew up together? This matter is already in the past. Why are you lying? Lin Yangyu saw that even with conclusive evidence, he was still trying to deny it. There was a trace of disgust in her eyes. I never liked you. I was just pretending before. Now I don't want to keep pretending. Of course. But I'm not going to protect you anymore. Since you did it, you must take responsibility for your actions until the end. As soon as she finished speaking, the Lin family sent the original document. After comparing them one by one, it was confirmed that the handwriting on the note was indeed Su Jansu's. The disciplinary inspection department held a meeting and decided to make an announcement to the entire school to clarify the facts. Due to the negative impact, Zhou Yanzu was expelled from the school and the incident was recorded in his file. By the time everything was resolved, it was already night. Lin Yangyu walked out, leaning against the wall and stopped Professor Zhang. Professor Zhang, does Chen Zhou know about these things happening in China? Although the matter was resolved perfectly, Professor Zhang was still angry and still didn't like her. You're about to be dismissed. Of course he knows. Did you hit your head? After being scolded like that, Lin Yangyu felt increasingly uncomfortable. But she still wanted to explain a few words. Now that the matter has been resolved, will he come back? This quota is the only one in the entire Design Institute. Chen Zhu earned it with her own ability. She will study in Italy for 3 years and has a bright future ahead of her when she returns. Why would she come back? Besides, Quinta has people like you. She would suffer less if she didn't return. If I had known she was obsessed with someone like you, I should have had a serious talk with her. One must be careful when choosing a partner. When I received Professor Zhang's call reporting that she was fine, I was sunbathing by the sea. I don't know how the professor managed to get Lin Yangyu to tell the truth. I expressed my sincere gratitude to him. Professor Zhang gave me a few more instructions and then hurried off to a meeting. I took a sip of the juice beside me and relaxed on my lounge chair. 3 days ago, I arrived in Italy. I wanted to go directly to complete the enrollment procedures, but the school called to verify the situation and suddenly informed me that there was a problem with my quota and that it couldn't be processed for the time being. I asked my roommate and found out that I had been reported. So I went to Professor Zhang to explain the situation and asked him to find a solution. Although Professor Zhang is the gold standard at Tsinghua, he also knew that it would be difficult to clear this up. I was also prepared for the storm. To be honest, ever since I met Lin Yangyu, my stress tolerance has improved significantly. Now, even in the face of the serious consequence of being expelled, I can accept it. I even had the mood to buy a plane ticket to the beach for a vacation. Now that everything is resolved, I am completely relaxed. I was thinking of coming back someday to finish the unresolved matter. I was checking flight tickets when a message popped up in the dorm group chat. Chen Zhou, Lin Yangyu just came to our dorm saying she wanted your contact information. She said she wanted to apologize. We won't fall for her trap. Don't worry. We didn't reveal a single number. But you don't know. She looks really haggard now, with a bandage on her head. I heard she was in the ICU 2 days ago. That's really karma. She deserves it. Seeing these vivid complaints, I instantly remembered the scene where Lin Yangyu rejected my new number. A smile appeared on my lips and I sent a big red envelope to the group. Thank you all for your help these past days. The matter has been successfully resolved. When the 3-year period is up, I'll invite you all to dinner when I return to China. I'll express my gratitude to you in person. After booking the last flight back to Milan, I stretched and stood up. I walked toward the hotel along the gentle beach. This time, the handling process went smoothly, and there were no further problems. Looking at the stack of documents with stamps and my new student card, I showed a satisfied expression. Do you want to live in the dormitory or look for an apartment on your own? I've already found an apartment. I can't accept the international student dormitory complex. So before coming, I bought a small apartment nearby. I immediately picked up my suitcase and hurried over there. When I arrived at my destination, I looked at the stairs in front of me and tried to lift the heavy suitcase. I sighed deeply. I was thinking about whether to pay someone to help me when suddenly a pretty girl approached me. She asked me in English if I needed help. I quickly nodded. The pretty girl and I lifted the luggage and went up together, chatting as we went. I bowed and expressed my gratitude to her. She showed me her blushing palm and made a friendly joke. I helped you. A simple thank you probably isn't enough. If it's convenient, could you give me your business card? Hearing this request, I was stunned for a moment, but quickly reacted. But I couldn't find my business card anywhere. I could only look at her apologetically. I'm sorry. It's okay. Then, out of nowhere, a pen appeared and she held out her hand to me. The phone number. Please write it on my hand. I hesitated for a few seconds, took the pen, and wrote a series of numbers on that hand. After moving into the new apartment, I was busy for several days and finally got my home in order. At night, I received a message saying that all international exchange students had completed registration and that there would be a welcome meeting in the auditorium the next day. I noted the time and left early the next day. In those days, whenever I had free time, I wandered around the school, but since the campus was so big and the architectural styles were so similar, I kept getting lost. Seeing that it was almost time, I was about to ask someone when suddenly my phone rang. It was an unknown number. After thinking about it for a few seconds, I answered it anyway. A very familiar voice reached my ears, but I couldn't remember whose it was. While I was wondering who it could be, suddenly someone patted me on the shoulder from behind. I turned around and saw the beautiful Sylvia, who greeted me with a smile, still holding the phone to her ear. Then I realized that it was her number. A surprised expression appeared on my face and we high-fived. What are you daydreaming about? I told her the truth about my situation. After hearing it, she immediately said that she was also heading there and could show me the way. I'm going there too. Let me show you the way. I didn't hesitate. We walked through the campus, which seemed like a labyrinth, chatting and laughing the whole way. After walking for more than 10 minutes, Sylvia pointed to the building in front of us and said, "See this one?" I took out my phone and checked. It was exactly the same as the building map sent by the students. I quickly gestured to Sylvia to thank her. The welcome party lasted 2 hours. I left so tired that my lower back hurt. I was wondering where to have lunch when suddenly someone appeared in front of me. Sylvia greeted me with a smile and asked about my lunch plans. That was exactly what I was worried about. She noticed my unease. She smiled and recommended a restaurant, inviting me to go with her. I accepted. I followed her out of the school. When we arrived at the restaurant, I realized it was a Chinese restaurant. A flicker of doubt crossed my eyes. Do you want to take me to eat Chinese food? Are you used to it? I heard that you're not used to the food here. I hope we have a pleasant dining experience today. I also want to try Chinese food. That's why I chose this restaurant. I didn't expect her to be so considerate. I didn't want to disappoint her kindness. Let's go to this one. I'm also kind of a host. Let me pay for this meal. I hope to give you a good first experience with Chinese food. We chatted as we entered the restaurant and sat down. Thanks to Sylvia's lively and polite personality, the meal went very well. We talked about the cultural differences between East and West and about many interesting things that had happened recently. We quickly became friends. After lunch, Sylvia walked me back to my apartment. Before leaving, she showed a look of reluctance. Can I invite you for tea this weekend afternoon? That weekend, there was unusually good weather. I gladly accepted the invitation. I was chatting with Sylvia at the garden cafe. A flock of white doves flew over the lake. A feather fell on my head. When Sylvia saw it, she smiled and wanted to take it off for me. We were very close, which from a distance looked quite intimate. I looked up at her, smiling. Thank you. As I said this, I looked to my left and my eyes froze. The woman standing at the door with a bandage on her forehead, a haggard woman with gauze on her forehead. I looked at her. How could she look so much like Lin Yang? Before I could get a closer look, the woman had already approached aggressively. She lowered her bloodshot eyes and looked down at the table full of delicious pastries. Her eyes darted back and forth between the two of us. Who is she? Hearing that familiar voice, I was sure it was Lin Yang Yu. Although I didn't know how she knew I was here, her appearance didn't surprise me. I knew that one day she would chase me all the way to Italy. After all, in Lin Yang Yu's eyes, I am the prey she can easily catch. She would never let me escape her sight. I was already prepared for the reunion. So faced with her bad attitude, I remained particularly calm. A new friend. A friend. What friend? A girlfriend. Those last words. Lin Yang Yu almost muttered them through clenched teeth. She never imagined that she would be so badly hurt, fly all the way here wanting to confess everything, only to find me on a date with another woman. I had found a new love in just a few days abroad. Didn't you love me for 2 years and never gave up even after being rejected 99 times? Didn't we agree to be together on the 100th time? Why did you back out? Why are you so unreliable? Did you forget? I didn't give her the chance to bring up the past. Chasing after you isn't something to be proud of. What if I forget about it? Shouldn't you forget it too? You have nothing but that face. You don't have any outstanding qualities. I don't like you anymore. I want to change my taste. I need to ask your permission. A few words left Lin Yang Yu speechless. She looked at me in disbelief, suspicion in her eyes. Chenjo, what have you been through these days? We've agreed that I've been doing very well these days, eating, drinking, and sleeping well. Thanks to you, I even have time to travel. But your sudden appearance makes me a little uncomfortable. If you understand what I mean, please leave this cafe. To be honest, you're interrupting my meal with the pretty girl. When I said this, my tone was light, with an expression that made it seem perfectly natural. This cold, indifferent and rejecting attitude made Lin Yang Yu's already pale face turn even paler. Only then did she realize that everything was truly out of her control. I was wrong before. I shouldn't have taken advantage of your sincerity. I'm sorry, Chenjo. Please forgive me. Can you give me another chance? Looking at her slightly trembling hands, I raised my eyebrows with a mocking tone. I can't afford the apology of the school beauty. Don't worry. From now on we'll be strangers. You don't have to worry about me bothering you. Seeing the determination in my eyes, Lin Yang Yu knew I wasn't joking. She was so nervous that her hands clenched unconsciously, which made me frown. Sylvia, who didn't understand our conversation, at first thought we were just greeting each other. When she saw that my hand was red from the grip, she quickly got up to help me. This action was a provocation to Lin Yang Yu. Without thinking, she pushed Sylvia's hand away. Sylvia was pushed back a few steps. Lin Yang Yu looked at her coldly and pulled me away. Sylvia leaned against the wall to steady herself. Seeing my resistance, she slapped Lin Yang Yu. The two of them immediately started fighting. Many customers, afraid of getting caught up in it, ran out the door. The owner of the second floor immediately called the police. The police separated the two people, their eyes bloodshot, and took them to the station. The bandage on Lin Yang Yu's head was torn, revealing a gruesome wound, which terrified the police and made them instinctively assume that Sylvia was abusing a patient. Sylvia tried to defend herself. The bruised Lin was no less aggressive. She insisted that the other had started it first. The two argued for a long time. The police officer's eardrums were about to burst. They still couldn't determine who was right and who was wrong. Desperate, the officer had to ask the only witness present, that is, me. Sir, could you describe the scene of the incident? Would that be all right with you? Upon hearing this question, both of them turned around and looked at me with anxious eyes. Without hesitation, I raised my hand and pointed at Lin Yang Yu. She pushed first. Hearing this, Lin Yang Yu stood there in shock. She couldn't believe that I had pointed her out. Her voice was trembling. I only pushed her. It was clearly she who hit her first. Chenjo, why you? The sentence was cut off abruptly. Lin Yang Yu had a flash of realization and instantly understood why I had said that. I was getting revenge on her. I wanted her to experience what it felt like to be falsely accused. Realizing this, she couldn't say a single word. The police didn't understand this Chinese and asked me to translate. I directly clarified our relationship. I was having dinner with Sylvia. She barged in and caused trouble against my wishes and tried to drag me away by force. And she pushed her. That's why they fought. Lin Yang Yu's last hope was completely shattered. She opened her mouth with a hoarse, powerless voice. You won't be on my side anymore, will you? I glanced at her out of the corner of my eye and laughed coldly. I'm an honest person. I only stand on the side of the truth. Lin Yang Yu still refused to give up. She asked again. And if she had pushed me first today, would you tell the truth? Of course. Do I not know you well? Sylvia is young and impressionable. Of course I have to look out for my friend. I left with that final remark. I didn't care what expression she had and turned around to leave. With the testimony and the surveillance footage quickly recovered, the truth soon came to light. Lin Yangyu was detained for causing trouble. I waited for Sylvia to come out, thanked her, and apologized. She waved her hand, not taking the minor injuries seriously. Instead, she said that our outing had been interrupted that day and asked me to go again with her next week. I thought it over carefully. Although Sylvia was really beautiful, based on what had happened that day, she didn't seem rational and mature enough. I knew that Lin Yangyun wouldn't let it go, and I didn't want to involve her, nor did I want to go back to the police station. I could guess that she had other intentions toward me. But now, I wouldn't act on impulse. So in the end, I politely declined. By the way, I didn't see Lin Yangyu at all over the next 2 weeks. Life returned to normal. But afterwards, Sylvia invited me out 2 more times. After I refused, our relationship simply ended. I didn't feel sad about that fleeting friendship. I had learned some cooking skills abroad, so I quickly integrated into the circle of international students. Just when I was about to forget about Lin Yangyu, he suddenly reappeared. He blocked my way at school with several cars full of roses and balloons. Seeing all the curious looks from everywhere, I was speechless for a moment. Lin Yangyu didn't even look at my face and told me everything he had kept in his heart. "Chenjo, if I chase after you 100 times, would you give me another chance?" If I had heard this a few months ago, I probably would have been moved to tears. But now, not only am I indifferent, it even gives me goosebumps all over. What a dramatic plotline. And what cheesy lines. Was I possessed by some demon before? How could I have made such public confessions? Thinking about the past, I don't even feel a sigh in my heart. I just feel embarrassed remembering it. At that moment, I didn't hear what the person in front of me was saying. After waiting a long time without getting a response, Lin Yangyu's heart grew more and more restless and she became nervous. She could only look at me nervously. I directly avoided her gaze. I turned around and waved from afar. "Hello Hu Qingsui, Hu Sisi. Where are you going?" Lin Yangyu looked away and realized I was greeting other people. This made Lin Yangyu feel like her heart was in a freezer. "Lin Yangyu, Chen Zhou." Before I could finish, the girl named Hu Qingsu came over. Her tone sounded very familiar. "We're going camping. Chen Zhou, do you want to come with us?" The weather was nice and I didn't have any other plans for the weekend. There was a big problem in front of me. I had no reason to refuse. I agreed without hesitation. I asked her with a smile about her plans for that night. Neither of us paid any attention to Lin Yangyu. I joined the camping team alone. Watching the group's figures slowly disappear, Lin Yangyu's face suddenly turned pale. She clenched her fists and looked at Hu Qingsu with resentment and jealousy in her eyes. Lin Yangyu followed us to the outskirts of the city. On the other side of a river, I could clearly see everything happening on the opposite bank. 7 or 8 international students were celebrating together and seemed very excited. She couldn't fit in. She could only watch from afar. But the more she watched me, the more uncomfortable she felt. No matter what I did, the girl named Hu Qingsu kept following me. The distance between us never exceeded 10 steps, and it kept getting shorter. This was different from the intimate attitudes of the others, which filled Lin Yangyu with jealousy and longing, wishing she could just take me away. But she knew that if she really did that, she would definitely make me angry. She didn't want our relationship to keep getting colder. So she couldn't do anything but beg fate. She could only swallow those complicated emotions. She convinced herself to endure it. She endured it for 6 hours. It was getting dark. We lit a bonfire and organized a party. It was very lively. Since it was too noisy and I wasn't used to it, I went alone to the river to enjoy the breeze. Lin Yangyu took the opportunity to approach me. "Chengsu, I have something to tell you." I was in a good mood that day, but I still didn't like her. My tone wasn't very good. "Sorry, I don't want to listen." I said I was leaving. Lin Yangyu became distressed. She directly took my hand, seriousness in her eyes. "Just give me a few minutes. Chenjo, I've been wanting to tell you something for a long time." Hearing this, I finally looked up at her, but my expression was subtle. "A long time? What words? It can't be that nonsense about you falling in love with me at first sight." In the end, my voice had a mocking tone. It was as if Lin Yangyu had been struck by lightning. She was stunned. She never expected that I would know the secret she thought she had hidden so well. I didn't care about her mood. The sarcasm on my face grew stronger. "Lin Yangyu, think carefully about what I said. Not to mention me, even to anyone else, or even to yourself, you believe it. Who can hide their crush for 2 years without a single slip? Who would satisfy their own pride by publicly rejecting the 99 confessions of the person they like? Who could do that? In the face of all dangers and pain, push the person they love to the opposite side. Is this love? It's probably hate. Hearing my ridicule, Lin Yangyu's mind went blank. She tried her hardest to deny it, but in the end, she couldn't argue a single word. She could only utter a few weak words. No. Chenjo, I really like you. Everyone around me knows it. Everyone can vouch for it. Since I don't know, whoever you like has nothing to do with me. Anyway, from my perspective, the person you like has always been Woo Young-soo from beginning to end. You should go to him, confess your crush, and tell him how you feel. You two make a great couple. I've been disgusted from start to finish. The undisguised disgust on my face was the last straw. Her body couldn't stop trembling, but she still refused to let go. Stubbornly trying to hold me back, I lost patience to keep getting tangled up with her. I simply pulled my hand away, turned around, and left. The moment my hand separated from hers, she felt as if she were about to lose everything. Her heart ached sharply, and all the strength in her body vanished instantly. She staggered as if she were about to fall. I skillfully ignored her and walked lightly back toward the crowd. I thought that as long as everything was made clear, Lin Yangyu would give up. But I soon realized that this person simply can't listen to what others say. In the following months, every time I went out, I would see her within a 20-meter radius. Every few days, she would come to me with something. She called it a confession. Once, twice, and by the third time, I couldn't even remember how many times it had been. Faced with her stubborn and persistent behavior, I never responded. I ignored her whenever possible. If it was really necessary, I would call security to have her removed under the appropriate pretext. This went on again and again, and the whole school knew about Lin Yangyu and her persistent pursuit. So wherever she went, people would point at her. But she didn't take it seriously, she just kept following me. She thought that if she persisted, she would eventually touch my heart. But reality was far from what she imagined. I didn't show any sign of emotion, and I also accepted the advances of other women right in front of her. Lin Yangyu could only watch helplessly as I grew closer and closer to the other men around me. Little by little, Lin Yangyu began to get used to the sight of people surrounding me like stars. She had to admit that I was right. I was never her private property. After being rejected again and again, she became numb. No matter what words or harsh things I said, or what expression I showed her, she no longer felt pain in her heart. She started counting the times, from 1 to 50. From winter to spring and then to the beginning of summer. She thought the days would continue on so peacefully. From 50 to 100, or maybe there would even be 101st time. Lin Yangyu never had any intention of giving up. Just when she thought she could truly look at everything with indifference, I appeared before her holding another woman's hand. I smiled and said to the people around me, "This is my girlfriend." At that moment, Lin Yangyu felt as if the sky was collapsing. She instantly lost her composure and ran straight to me to demand an explanation. Before she could reach me, she was stopped by a patrolling security guard. Through the crowd, she asked me with reddened eyes and a hoarse voice, "Why?" My eyes lingered on her for a second, my tone indifferent. "I'm young, I have money and I have free time. What's wrong with dating a beautiful woman? What does it have to do with you?" Lin Yangyu was downcast for a long time. She would get drunk alone at the bar, drinking every night. Every day when she woke up and looked at the empty surroundings, she would uncontrollably fall into pain. She wanted to come to me and beg me to break up. But every time she came to see me, she saw me holding hands with my new girlfriend and smiling, and she lost the courage to take a step forward. Until today, Lin Yangyu finally understands how I feel. But it was too late. She couldn't listen to the advice of her friends and family, and insisted on staying abroad to see it through. When the summer heat faded, Lin Yangyu finally received the news of my breakup. She came to me with a smile to comfort me. But everything was beyond her expectations. I didn't show any sadness. My eyes looked the same as they did a few months ago. Lin Yangyu's smile froze on her face. She asked in a tentative tone, "Did you suffer?" I put on a very polite smile. "We broke up peacefully. It was mutual. There's no resentment." Hearing this, Lin Yangyu felt a bit relieved, but was immediately overwhelmed by my unexpected words the next second. Besides, even if I had suffered the greatest injustice in the world, compared to what I've experienced over the past 2 years, what does it matter? Aren't you the witness to everything that happened? Why are you pretending to be a good Samaritan? Those last sarcastic words made Lin Yangyu furious. She wanted to explain, but I didn't give her the chance. About what happened that year, I can explain it. Shenzhou. Alright. If you keep talking, I'm going to get irritated. Lin Yangyu, don't put on an act in front of me, alright? I can't appreciate your acting skills anymore. If If you feel like acting, go back to China and look for Zhou Yanzu and your sisters, okay? They'll be happy to support you. Just a few words made Lin Yangyu blush. I pushed her aside and walked straight toward the classroom building. I'm glad I corrected how people address me. Now everyone calls me by my English name. Very few people know that I'm the person Lin Yangyu confessed to. At this point, Lin Yangyu has run out of ways to confess. After all, she couldn't move me the first 99 times. She was truly at a loss. Finally, with a reminder from her friends, she found a solution. For the 100th confession, she chose the school's small garden. She prepared a huge domino setup to recreate the scene of our first meeting. She hung many star-shaped lights in the treetops and planned to light candles in the garden at night to take me back to the past. To trick me into going, Lin Yangyu asked many people for help and prepared dozens of plans. This time, she was determined to make me realize that she truly fell in love with me at first sight and that now she genuinely regrets it. Everything was set up. But when the agreed time came, I didn't show up. Lin Yangyu lost control of herself. She drove everywhere she could think of, searching for me. The 9 o'clock alarm rang. The dark forest was instantly lit up with lights. Countless balloons floated upward. Petals fell from the sky. Romantic piano music echoed through the forest. The sound of stumbling continued. It was the sound of dominoes falling on their own. 1 second, one sound. After more than 10 minutes, at the moment the last piece fell, all the candles lit up. Lin Yangyu felt as if all her strength had drained away. When everything settled down, her phone rang. It was an unknown international call. But as soon as she answered, she quickly recognized it was me on the other end. I heard you were going to confess for the 100th time tonight. But unfortunately, I'm in China right now. I'm really sorry. Lin Yangyu swallowed the pain and discomfort in her heart. She pretended to be calm. It's okay. Just the fact that you called already makes me very happy. Whenever you want, I can prepare confession number 101 or 102. There was a slight expectation in her voice, as if she had already dreamed of my forgiveness. That's not necessary. I'm only calling to inform you of 2 things. Lin Yangyu swallowed hard, and the hand holding the phone tightened. The first thing is to kindly remind you that it's winter now and the weather is dry. When you finish playing, quickly put out the candles in the garden to prevent a fire. Upon hearing this, Lin Yangyu looked up and saw a dead leaf slowly falling. The second thing is to give you some good news. I'm in love again. This girlfriend is a bit prettier than the last one. Your confession can stop after the first attempt. These simple words fell into Lin Yangyu's mind, but echoed there countless times. In an instant, she felt as if she were under a spell. There was a sharp pain in her forehead. Under the intense pain, she no longer had any strength left. With a snap, the phone slipped and hit the chandelier. Within seconds, the fire spread throughout the garden. But she made no move to escape or call for help. She was like a statue, becoming part of the garden. It wasn't until the whole night had passed and all the trees in the garden had been burned to the ground. The only fortunate thing was that there were no casualties. The firefighters arrived in time and saved her from being asphyxiated by the smoke. Although she was lucky to survive, the fire enraged the university, which firmly declared that it would seek accountability. As the prime suspect, Lin Yangyue was arrested and detained by the police. When the Lin family heard the news, they were distraught. They used all their connections to save her. But since it was an international case, Lin Yangyu could not escape her responsibility. In the end, the Lin family lost most of their assets. Qingda finally gave in. Due to the negative impact, Lin Yangyu was imprisoned for half a year, was also blacklisted by the EU, expelled and permanently banned from entering. As soon as she was released, she was taken to the airport to be deported back to China. Seeing the people around her dressed in summer clothes, Lin Yangyu, who was in a trance as if in a dream, finally regained her senses. It turned out it was already summer. Several months had passed and he never came to see me, not even once. Realizing this, complex emotions welled up in her heart. She couldn't tell whether it was disappointment or loneliness. There is still plenty of time. There will be another chance for us to meet. Lin and Andrew could only comfort themselves this way. But when she turned around, she saw me coming out from the corner of the street, holding hands with a beautiful woman. From the photos sent by her sisters, she knew this was my girlfriend. By chance, I looked up and saw him. I greeted him warmly, which was unusual for me, and then generously told him the truth. Hello. How long has it been since we last saw each other? I just got back from a trip to Germany. You're already out. Time flies. Let me introduce you. This is my new girlfriend Monica. After Lin Yangyu returned to China, several people messaged me asking if I was just acting or if I was being sincere. I didn't reply to them. Now that things have come to this point, I can see right through Lin Yangyu. She said she liked me, but in reality, the only thing she likes is herself. To her, I'm just a trophy to show off. In my second year studying abroad, I took the opportunity to participate in many competitions. Time passed day by day, and soon my 3 years as an exchange student came to an end. I returned home with a box full of gold medals. As soon as I got off the plane, I saw someone holding flowers to welcome me. As for Lin Yangyu, I knew she would never have the chance to be part of my life again. We are just two strangers in the crowd. Two strangers who will cross paths and then